So everybody's been talking about how WrestleMania 41 is cooked, but I don't think so, guys, because it's not just WrestleMania 41. Everything in WWE is cooked, whether it's Backlash in St. Louis, or SummerSlam in MetLife, or the Royal Rumble in Saudi, or WrestleMania 42, or even WrestleMania 43. Everything is cooked, and it's because of one plain simple fact that the direction that WWE as a company is going in is getting progressively worse week after week after week after week after week. TKO, the company that owns WWE and UFC, is absolutely ruining WWE, because you see all these guys like Triple H, Nick Khan, and The Rock, they're gonna look you dead in the eye and tell you that WWE is in a boom period right now, and this is the hottest they've ever been, when in reality the closest they ever were to a boom period was before TKO took over. Everything seemed so good before TKO took over, man, because WWE were actually becoming great, because they were trying to be great. Triple H and WWE as a whole actually had a chip on their shoulders to make WWE great again and win some of their fans back by putting out good content after how terrible the product was under Vince McMahon, and it worked! It actually worked, because I know several people that had completely quit wrestling that got back into the WWE around that time period. Roman Reigns and the Bloodline were telling amazing stories, CM Punk returned, Randy Orton returned, The Rock returned, Cody Rhodes was super over, and he also had mid-carders like Ricochet, Gunther, Sheamus, Chad Gable all cooking on Raw and SmackDown every single week. And to top it all, you had one of the greatest moments in wrestling history with Cody Rhodes finishing the story. It really seemed like WWE was becoming great again, but TKO had to ruin everything and has turned WWE into this corporate, money-hungry megalomania. Like, let's talk about the ticket prices. WrestleMania 41 nosebleeds are over $1,000 without fees. You literally gotta sell a kidney and donate 200 grams of sperm to watch WrestleMania with Eddie Guerrero. You're literally gonna have your own Anoa'i family dynasty by the end of that. No, I'm actually gonna be at Mania 41, and no, I did not donate sperm. I got my tickets back in like October, which was back when WWE was, saying that they're gonna make this the biggest WrestleMania of all time, even bigger than Mania 40 and all that stuff. So it seemed like, okay, maybe the prices make sense. But fast forward, when you look at the state of the show right now, with Gunther versus Jey Uso being the world title match, like when you look at the current state of the show today, the tickets are just horrifyingly overpriced, and a wrestling show has no reason to be that overpriced. This isn't UFC. This isn't the NFL. This is not the Super Bowl. This is wrestling. This is literally a scripted performance and a show that's made for entertainment. But you're telling me that if a common man or a family wants to just enjoy a WrestleMania live for once in their life, they gotta sell 3 of their organs? And that's in the nosebleeds? Because the front row, forget about it, man. The front row is just not for fans anymore. Because TKO just loves to fill it up with a bunch of no-name celebrities that don't care about wrestling the slightest. You see, they're trying so hard to make this seem like a sport, They're trying so hard to make it feel like the UFC. Yeah, that's exactly what this feels like. Like a try-hard UFC. The, expensive ticket prices and, paying celebrities that don't care about wrestling to show up just so they can, show off about how many celebrities know and care about WWE, where really none of them care about it. The common man that just wants to attend a WWE show because they're a fan of it is completely driven away. And that's only the beginning. The ticket prices going for it is only the beginning. In case you guys didn't know, TKO is going to be cutting down on house shows. I'm not sure if they're going to completely get rid of it or if they're just going to reduce the number of house shows they do in a year, but they're basically cutting down on house shows because, they don't make enough money. Yeah! And I think that's just absolutely stupid because all these mid-carders in WWE, they need house shows. And your main eventers, they need house shows as well because they barely wrestle on Raw and SmackDown. They wrestle like once in 6 weeks. So they need matches on house shows so they can stay in shape, in-ring shape. And also, they're trying to squeeze out as much money as they possibly can with these house shows by doing matches like Gunther versus Punk, Gunther versus Seth, Gunther versus AJ Styles. Matches that could have easily happened at WrestleMania, but they don't care because they're going to make boatloads of money no matter what they do for WrestleMania. Because again, the tickets are like $1,000, so they don't care about that. So they just take these big dream matches that people have been asking for, like Gunther versus Seth, Gunther versus Punk, Gunther versus Styles, and they waste it on house shows and they put zero effort into what we got on TV. Because we're getting Gunther versus Jey Uso on TV. Does WWE care about the fact that, there's zero interest levels for Jey versus Gunther because nobody wants to see that match? No! They only care about the fact that they can put the belt on Jey Uso and sell a bunch of shirts that say Yeet Mania and World Heavy Yeet Champion and make a bunch of money with that. But no, guys, no, we're just internet marks, right? We're complaining too much, right? Or at least, that's what the WWE Glazers or all these big YouTubers have been saying. And again, that's only the beginning because WWE is always looking for desperate ways to make money. WWE, apparently, they're planning on extending their two-night PLE format to other PLEs as well, not just WrestleMania. And we're already seeing this with SummerSlam now being 2 nights. Like, why? But whatever, who cares, right? It's just SummerSlam. But then there's reports that they're going to make a 2-night Royal Rumble and a 2-night Money in the Bank. Like, come on! What's next, an ECW 2-night stand? This just sucks, man. They're just trying to suck as much money as possible from the fans while not realizing that this amount of overexposure can literally ruin their product. Like, SmackDown moving to 3 hours has made the show infinitely worse and unwatchable. Imagine they do the same with PLEs where we are overexposed to a bunch of garbage just so we can fill up 2 nights. I really hope this never happens, man. That would really suck on so many different levels. So here's the thing, all of these are TKO problems and how they've made WWE 10 times more greedy. So some people say that Triple H doesn't deserve all the hate, you know, because I've been slandering Triple H ever since the channel started, which I agree to an extent. Yes, Triple H just books the shows, he's only the head of creative, but here's the thing, what is Triple H doing on his part? Is he, as head of creative, doing anything to make the weekly product as good as possible to make up for all of these TKO shenanigans? No, he's not! Every story in WWE right now has zero effort put into it. The weekly shows are just pure garbage, so Triple H equally deserves the hate because he's not coming up with anything good for his current stars that are showing up every single week. And lastly, I want to talk about the fans. The type of fans that glaze WWE like they work there. The kind of fans that have been brainwashed by Triple H, The Rock, and all these big wrestling YouTubers that are going to tell you that you're just an internet mark for criticizing the product because the crowd seems to love it every single week apparently, which makes no sense! Like I said, I'm going to be at Mania 41, and do you think, because I've been so critical and disappointed with the product, do you think I'm just going to sit there in the stadium all quiet and not even having fun? No! Just because the fans yeet for Jey Uso, it doesn't mean the story's good. Just because the fans sing for Roman Reigns, it doesn't mean the story's good. Just because the fans go, whoa, for Cody Rhodes, it doesn't mean the story's good. Stop being brainwashed by WWE, because that's all they do. They're going to go, oh, look at this crowd that's singing for Roman Reigns. Oh, look at this crowd that's singing for Randy Orton's theme song. Oh, WWE's so hard right now. Look at that. Look at this. Look at that. Look at this. When in reality, the only reason why the crowds are so loud is because they're from Europe and they barely get WWE shows. So really, when you put all this together, you get one big giant mess with a bunch of frauds like Triple H, The Rock, and Ari Emanuel running WWE into the ground and taking the company in directions that absolutely suck for the common wrestling fan that just wants to enjoy good storytelling and good wrestling. But WWE doesn't care about that because they're always willing to do stupid things and stoop to doing all kinds of stupid stuff like overpriced tickets and, 2-night PLEs and getting rid of house shows and all of that stuff just to squeeze as much money as they possibly can from the fans, and the fans are just going to continue to glaze and be brainwashed by this company. Anyways, that is it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see y'all next time. Peace out!